let's take a little walk. So I almost got to where I said I was going to post daily, and I almost got to the point where I didn't want to post today. But but I thought about something that I want to talk about. So disenfranchisement. Disenfranchisement is a word that keeps playing over and over in my head, and I looked deeper into it because I wanted to use it in court in some of the claims that I'm making. And I learned the hard way. It's really I actually went for a order of protection in 2016 or 17, around that time, when my son was really little, and I was turned away because you have to have like an imminent like threat of bodily harm and doom to get this stuff done, like a restraining order. And I was like, really? Like, she's like, you don't have like physical, like you gotta have this. And I'm like, okay. And so I walked away from there, and that's the old courthouse. They've actually rebuilt the courthouse here in Spartanburg. It's really nice. It's huge. It's like a White House. It's giant compared to the old one. But I walked away, and within a year later, I almost died. So it's really kind of messed up. But if you when you fill out the form, if you are able to get the forms to fill out first, they do allow you to check the boxes for psychological abuse. So that's what I put on there. But I talked about disenfranchisement in my complaint. This word disenfranchisement, I've heard this word before, and I think about the word, I think about like not having the ability to work, or like being discriminated against, especially when it comes to like making a profit or having to work. When you look into the real definition of it, it has more to do with it has a lot to do with discrimination. But there was women and felons who have fallen victim to disenfranchisement in history, and at the one time women did not have the right to vote. And today it's still true that felons can't vote. So I looked into different types of disenfranchisement, and I chose disenfranchisement of grief, which, however, I do feel that I've been in the category of fulfilling the other ones. And it can be when someone discriminates against a group of people, or purely based on like your race or your gender as well. And I mean, hey, I'm not a felon. I've got no more than speeding tickets. So I had this person in my life who, which I mentioned before, I had received a death threat about teaching yoga. They said, you don't need to teach yoga. You know, if you get a yoga certification, I'll kill you, is what someone told me. And then later on, this same person like decided to show up to certain events. Like he showed up to someone else's job. There was a person who was kind of had the idea that he is a male, who might want to work with me as far as like playing music, because he was kind of big on in the spiritual scene, like playing acoustic music for classes and things like that. And I was like, that would be awesome. You want to play guitar for my class? Like, cool. And apparently weirdo guy shows up at his job because he knew where he worked, and threatened him. And so we weren't able, he kind of backed off, we weren't able to do that. And then this person had like a kind of a presence of, if he thought anybody was going to contribute to supporting me as far as making money, making a profit, or having a business, he would show up and tell them to stop and threaten people. He threatened a lot of people. That kind of thing is not fair. And what's kind of twisted about it is the people that will tell you, you know, you don't deserve money, you don't deserve to make money, you don't deserve an income, you don't deserve compensation. Be the main people who want to ask you for money. And it's like, if I don't deserve money, how am I going to give it to you? You don't make sense. So some of the things I've been dealing with have been in the scope of psychosis or psychological impairment with trying to manage other people's um, delusions. You know, it's not a logical perception of reality that I can really understand. I'm a very logical person. I like tangible things. I like things that are explainable. And when people are just like very over the top and like out of this world, I'm like, how? Like, it's just very mind-boggling to me. It's hard for me to do my best. That's all I want to share today because I don't want to get, like, my son is only 9 years old, and so I don't want to get too personal in some of the things that he's gone through quite yet. So I'm talking about some of the older people in my life who maybe just wanted to kind of co-work or come together to support me in my endeavors, and they were attacked.